Hi, it's Daniel, and today we're talking about collaborative decision making. This is one of those management techniques that seems obvious on the surface. It can be as simple as popping into the office of one of your managers and asking their opinion on something, or it can be as elaborate as setting up a special planning conference to brainstorm with your whole staff. Either way, the advantages are obvious. Your staff has a wide variety of experience and expertise beyond anything that you know. If you're planning a training event, for example, it's likely they'll know about interesting venues and possibilities you've never heard of. Why wouldn't you want to take advantage of that? And yet, time and time again, I see leaders either fail to take advantage of collaborative decision making or do it badly. I think this has a lot to do with the fact that collaborative decision making actually happens in two phases, each requiring different skills. It begins with a wide ranging discussion where you're hoping to take advantage of the knowledge, expertise, and experience of your team to contribute to a better plan. You need to start this process early enough that all the big decisions haven't already been made, and you need to be a respectful and encouraging chair of the discussion so your staff can trust that it's worth their effort to contribute and that their ideas can actually affect the plan. You need to have an open and collaborative approach to make this phase work, especially if you're new to your appointment and haven't yet built up a good level of trust with your staff. Once everyone's had their say, you need to decide on a plan and lay out the next action item steps before you can call the meeting a success. This requires a different set of skills. You need to summarize the various options that have been presented and introduce your own ideas about what you think is the best course of action. Then you need to choose one of them. That requires decisiveness and a willingness to take responsibility. Too often, this is where managers fail. They put off making a decision, or they worry about making the wrong one, or they don't want to seem like a dictator and choose one person's suggestion over everyone else's. But not deciding means that your staff can't get on with their own work. In our venue example, if a couple of your staff suggested one venue for an event and a couple suggested a different one, if you don't decide which one you're going to use, and only you can make that decision, then you're doing your staff a huge disservice because they can't get on with their own work. They can't book the facility, they can't make arrangements until they know where they're going. Not deciding does them a disservice. I've seen empathetic managers who are great collaborators, who instinctively take their staff into their confidence and include them in almost every decision. And I have seen decisive managers who will make a call and happily tell their people what to do. Much more rarely have I seen managers who are good at both. But this is a skill well worth cultivating. And I do think it's a skill you can develop. In particular, I think it's a skill that benefits from the leadership orientation we talked about earlier. You collaborate with your team because of the respect you have for their expertise and knowledge. And you make a decision because of the respect you have for their time. So, while the two phases of collaborative decision making may require you to switch gears from empathetic to decisive mode, in both cases your orientation is towards your staff's needs. The benefits when you do this right are enormous. You get a far better plan than you could ever have dreamed up by yourself. And your team not only gets a good plan and a clear set of next actions to guide their work, they've seen that you respect and trust them. And those are qualities that, like electricity, flow both ways or not at all. They will return your respect and trust to the degree that you give it. So when collaboration is real, it's the ultimate win-win. Collaborative decision-making might well be the most powerful tool you have for turning your staff into a team. I wish you all the best success. Thank you for your time and attention.